Let's just settle into a nice, comfortable posture. Or just be comfortable where you are. So bring your attention down to the soles of the feet. So whether they're underneath your legs, whether they are flat on the floor, just bring your attention down there. Feel the sensation of the feet on the floor. So maybe it could be pressure or sensation, temperature. And then maybe you have your feet crossed underneath your legs. So again, different kind of pressure, different kind of temperature, probably warmer. And then feel the weight of your legs in the chair and your sits bones in the chair and your pelvis, the weight of your pelvis being released into the chair. Feel the weight of your hands in your lap. Now align your shoulders with your hips, your ears with your shoulders, and just make your spine nice and long. Put some space in between the vertebrae. Bring your attention to the crown of the head and see if you can feel any sensation there, whether it be pressure, tingling. Maybe you don't feel anything. Relax your scalp. Relax your forehead and eyes and nose and cheeks and mouth, the back of the tongue, the jaw, the temples, the back of the head. Put some length in your neck so your chin is just tipped very gently downwards. If you've got too much constriction at the base of the skull, you can feel agitation. So then relax your shoulders, drop them down. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of the limbs, all of your limbs. Be aware of your breath. So just notice the sensation of the air as you inhale and exhale. Notice it around the nostrils. Just relax as you exhale. Notice the chest cavity, the lungs, the heart. Notice if you're holding anything anywhere and just release it as you exhale. Feel the belly. Notice the sensation of the belly rising and falling. Be aware of any sound in your environment, just allowing the sounds to be there. They're part of your environment. Try not to follow them or investigate with the mind. And then just check in with your mind this evening. what's going on. Just allow the thoughts to arise, to abide, and then just dissolve. Try not to get engaged in the drama, in the whatevers of whatever is going on in your mind. So one thing I think we don't take into consideration often is that there's so many factors that can affect us mentally, and that part of it is also diet. Can be also hormonal changes, chemical changes within the body. Could be something you watched on television a week ago that was disturbing you. A conversation that's left you with a sense of unease. So maybe if you are feeling a little something, just try and get in touch with the sensation, the physical sensation. Find out where it's sitting in your body. See if you can identify it, and then just release it. And then bring to mind all the people of our life, our loved ones, our strangers, the ones we don't necessarily like. And just remembering they're all equal. They want to be happy. They don't want to suffer. They all have this extraordinary capacity for a Buddha mind. So we think we'll do this practice this evening for all these people of our life, and by extension, all the sentient beings. So we think there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind, so equally we can change it by creating positivity instead. So we start with this power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And so, having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we will experience. We know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So we think, I regret from the depths of my heart, having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I am sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then we think, well, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to this power of reliance. So we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor, who has these methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we need Buddha Vajrasattva to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his medicine. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can imagine this is also the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And he has a beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for all those people of our life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell, representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, and this symbolizes enlightenment, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So then we have this little section on developing compassion. And in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. the very beings we've harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to result as suffering for them sometime in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. And then we come to this power of remedy, and this is the actual medicine, doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and it enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm we've ever done to any living being with our body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Vajira Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Om vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Jita meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Om vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Jita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Om vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Jita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Om vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Jita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Om vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Jita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything other than benefit others now with your body. And next is our speech. And imagine Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you imagine all the gossip, the harsh speech, the inappropriate speech, our useless speech, and gossiping and lying and talking about other people behind their backs. And all of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mata Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samayam nupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, jita meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samayam nupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Jita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. And next is the purification of our mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So you imagine the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, and instantly all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all the attachment and neediness and anger and bitterness and depression, grudges, resentment, jealousy, anxiety, bitterness, disappointments, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapha Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasapha Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapha Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasapha Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Saka Ahum Pe Vajrasafa Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Saka Ahum Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And think that there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of our body, speech, and mind. And this time imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar. It fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your consciousness. So you imagine the nectar flows down and it pushes out all the negativity of your body. And then the nectar flows up, pushing out all the negativity of your speech. And then the light comes and blasts all of your delusions. And in this way, and also we're reciting the mantra as well, we're eradicating even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from our consciousness. Vajrasapha Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasapha Dina Patita Jita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasapha Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasapha Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasapha Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasapha Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasapha Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasapha Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasapha Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasapha Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasapha Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasapha Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasapha Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasapha Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So now feel you're completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your omniscience have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve, and this is the final step in the purification process. And it's a really crucial one. This is where we make a decision, a determination to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. So without this, we're just going to keep doing the same old things over and over again. So this determination, this aspiration to refrain from harming is like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in new directions. So remember, Rinpoche used to say, everything exists on the tip of the wishes, the aspiration. So just aspire. Just we don't, I mean, people don't like harming other people, really, but sometimes a lot of our actions are unconscious. So we just want to aspire to be a little bit more aware, a little bit kinder. And maybe think of something you'd like to work on between now and tomorrow. And then imagine Vajrasattva's delighted with us, wants to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And you think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next, Rinpoche would recommend to meditate on emptiness. So in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So here we are, chanting the names of Manjushri for the swift return of precious Lama Zopa Rinpoche, perfecting all perfections perfectly, adorned by all the grounds of bodhisattvas, the selflessness of pure phenomena, with luster that is moonlight unto knowledge, with great endeavors as illusory nets, the foremost master ruling every tantra, endowed in full with every Vajra posture, completely furnished with all wisdom bodies, completely good with intellect supreme, the embryo of earth sustaining beings, great embryo from which all Buddhas form, with emanation circles most diverse. All right, everyone. Let's have a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live very, very long, for a swift return of our precious Lama Zopa Rinpoche. I mean, he's already here, apparently, but just to come soon. And then for all of your own individual teachers to have long, healthy, and happy lives. All right, everyone, lots of love. Thank you, Shayla. Thank you, Source, for helping Shayla. He's still shy, isn't he? All right, lots of love, everyone. Good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, bye.